Hello and welcome to The Ordeal. I hope all of you are safe and being productive during this global illness that we're struggling with and all of the new restrictions that we have going on right now. And please, if you like my content, like, comment, and share. Subscribe to my channel. It all helps the algorithm, and I need the support on my channel. My channel is going nowhere fast. So if you could drop a like on it, leave a comment, that'd help me out a lot. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you just stopping by to watch the video, honestly. But let's get on to today's topic, which is in regards to the last two videos I put out, and that is now Tim Pool agrees with me. I don't know if this is a change in his mind or if he was just speaking off the cuff before and he wasn't being accurate with his feelings about universal health care. But let's see what he has to say here regarding his feelings on healthcare for everyone.
That shouldn't there be some like basic dignities covered? And I'm like, I want to have that. Absolutely do. I am 100% for universal health care. I just don't know if it's possible. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggerated. Like, I think you definitely need, you should have a private healthcare system. You should have base level coverage. The way I've argued it is that I think the solution to universal healthcare is very much like universal basic healthcare. And that would be if you break your arm. You know, a doctor knows how to set that and put a cast on it. That stuff's really basic. You go and you're like, my arm's broken, and they're like, all right, let's fix you up. That would create a strain on hospitals because there would be a lot more people coming in. But I mean, then maybe we need to invest and build more hospitals. Maybe there's some solution there. I don't think that I don't like the idea of people breaking their arm and be like, I'm not going to get my arm fixed because I can't pay for it. That's messed up. Now there are some more expensive treatments we can't cover. Like we just can't do it. There was one story I read about a dude, a young man who had a treatment that could be cured for like $4 million, and the state refused to pay for it, saying like this is ridiculous. Like it's I'm sorry, like we'd love to, but it's $4 million. And that's something you can't give to everyone. It's a hard and rare procedure. So I look at it like that. So Joe mentioned having some kind of basic dignities covered, and I really do like that idea. But it's difficult. It really, really is. Look, I'd love to see a solution to the problem, but let me show you this.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Tim? We can't afford $4 million to cure this person's illness, whatever it may be. Sure, we can't do that. I mean, we spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff that we don't need to be spending money on, and I'm just just saying, maybe we could toss some of that in the direction of one of our citizens who needs help. I could even point out that, hey, look, how much aid money do we give to other countries? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I am sure that many of the people who receive this aid money in foreign countries greatly appreciate it. I think it's a very nice thing to do, but maybe we should be taking care of our own first. Just tossing that idea out there. Now, another problem is I knew a guy who used to work. Well, I don't know. He probably still does work in construction. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he said that guys coming back from international rebuilding efforts from Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, they left the country. A lot of them left the country because they saw how much the government wastes our money. And our government does throw our money away. They do not manage our money well. Let's look at some of the things that we're funding that we don't need to be funding. Instead, we need to be taking care of the health of our citizens. $4 million to the U.S. government is not even a drop. That's a tiny little speck. A tiny little speck of money. And I know there's going to be more people that need that treatment, so it's gonna grow. I get it. It's gonna grow. It's gonna be bigger. But I think we maybe can back off on some of these other things that we don't need to be spending our money on, and put that into treating our citizens who have health problems. So moving on in the remainder of the video to talk about minimum wage and how we can't raise the minimum wage. And he makes valid points there. He talks about how if you raise a person's wage per hour, that's going to have to increase the cost of products or services, which means you're actually deflating the dollar. Dollar doesn't go as far, so it all washes out in the end. The problem with minimum wage, Tim, I'm going to tell you right now, the problem with the wages that people are earning today, it's very, very simple. Wages are actually going down. Here's a couple of articles that refer to wages dropping. On top of wages going down, the cost of products and services are going up. And you might say, well, not everything is getting more expensive. And that's true. I mean, like a DVD player is pretty inexpensive compared to what it used to be 10 years ago, 20 years ago. However, the DVD player you're buying today does not last, will not last. So I buy a DVD player, and if I use it on a regular basis, I expect it to last maybe a year. Whereas, you know, take a microwave, for example. The first microwave that I had experience with was when I was a child. My family bought a microwave when I was 6 years old. That microwave lasted until I was in my 20s. And I mean, I was probably, I want to say 23, 24, something like that. So you're talking about a small appliance that's going to last you 15 years. Something that you don't see today in a small appliance. It's it's just not possible. And I would bet you that we could make a microwave that would last 30 years without really any kind of major effort. We build these products not to last anymore. Everything is built to fall apart. So even though some things are getting less expensive, like microwaves, for example, um, you have to buy them more often. You have to replace them more often. We're increasing the amount of trash that we're dumping into the surface of the planet. This is, it's well known that wages are going down or staying the same, and the cost of things is going up in general. That's generally how it works. It's been well documented. It's been talked about a lot. You can look into it if you want to. So where's that money going? If my wage is not increasing, in fact, I make very little for my profession, um, and the products and services are not like amazingly better or anything, where's that money going? It's going into the pockets of executives. And people would argue, well, they're going to spend that money on buying a house, a yacht, starting their own side business, investing into a business. Yeah, some of that money does go to those things, but a lot of that money that they get just sits in a bank account or sits in the stock market. And a lot of that money that's sitting in a bank account is sitting in a bank account in another country. So it's not even in our economy anymore directly. So that's what the problem is these CEOs getting these incredible, not only CEOs, but all executives getting these incredible bonuses, getting these incredible wages where they're making millions of dollars a year. Yes, I think that if you are operating a business, you're the one who's putting everything on the line and making all this money happen, all this work happen for all these different people in the company. That you deserve more money, but you don't deserve $30 million. I mean, $40 million, $50 million, $100 million. People are getting paid outrageous amounts of money. I knew the CEO of a major food company in the United States, one that we all know the name of. I won't say his name, just to protect anonymity. He had I think he had resigned. He might have been fired. I don't know how he lost his job. There was some shenanigans that he was pulling, but he would say to me, "Oh yeah, it was totally worth it." I mean, the sleepless nights. I had to fire people. I'm like, dude, I have sleepless nights, and I don't have to fire people, but I've had to worry about being fired. In fact, I've been fired, and you're not the only person. I mean, when I've been fired, it's usually not the boss that fires me, not the boss of the company. It's the HR person. It's my supervisor and the HR person that show up and go, "Hey, guess what? You don't work here anymore. Goodbye. Get out." And it's just ridiculous to think that you deserve to make $30 million because you have sleepless nights and you have to fire people. I get it. There's stress in your job. There's stress in my daily life because I'm not getting paid enough that I can feel comfortable. You think that maybe you could drop your salary a little bit, maybe toss that down to your employees, maybe? Yeah, so that's what the real problem is, Tim. It's not minimum wage being too low, it's the salaries of these CEOs, these executives. They're just way too high. I mean that money has to be going somewhere. It's not going to the workers. It's not going into products. It's going into the pockets of these wealthy people to make them even more wealthy. It's like a big contest in them. Who can make the most money? Anyway, that's all I got to say about this particular subject matter. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.